that. As well as Jake being a good beach sprinter, he's a pretty handy
10, 6 and 100.
So his goal is to represent Australian two sports. He's been picked in the Australian Surf Ice Hockey team, so he's got to head off to the next one. I'm just going to start with the start of Jake's, and then I'm just going to go through a lot of just basic things. You can ask what questions you like. I wrote a paper about 10 years ago, which is a little bit technical. It's basically on a review of literature, and it's on Lolly League still going. Yeah, it's on the Lolly League's website.
I think
so anyway, I think the easiest way is to do a start, and we'll come back and talk about it. It's my skill. Jake's come back from injury. He's been out for 6 months with a torn rec femur here twice. So he's just about back at full pace. We'll just be holding back a little bit today. On your marks. There's a whole lot of things you might be looking at, block angles, distance between the blocks, distance between the lines, where his toes are, where his hips are, where his head is, where his arms are. There's all these things that play a part. Set. So he's a lot better than that, but he's just coming back.
Yeah, that was shit.
It was about 5 years ago I could beat him over 100 metres. Now he beats me by 30 metres.
Which one's changed?
I went backwards and he went forward. I tell him he's got a better coach than me. Okay, so we'll just go through some really basic things.
That's awesome, man.
That was very good.
Okay, we're talking about distance from the line, distance in between the blocks, block angles, position in the box. The principle of the start is to facilitate a really quick clearance from the blocks and set you up for the drive phase or acceleration phase. As simple as that. So the start is not just a block clearance, it's just getting out there and running. When we have young athletes come into my group, we teach really basic things like a start position might be something very simple, like 2 steps from the front line to the front block, 1 step in between. I personally know the exact distances that I have from the front block. I know I have 30 centimetres in between, and Jake's on 30, 35 or something like that. So that's using a block position. Block angles. A lot of the literature shows having a low angle is best. It's a position of the ankle dorsiflex, so you come out with a lot more power. I personally have one up at the back, simply because it feels better for me. So Jake, just go into position. So later on you can all play around, but we'll just go into Jake's position. He knows his positions. So he's a little bit closer to the front line than 2 steps, I think. And he's a little bit further apart than 1 step. But you need a position to start with, and then you start modifying it yourself. Now my preferred position is straight up and down. Do you remember when Tom Tellez came out here? Yeah. So that's, and I have my athletes relaxed.
Head down.
Yeah. Now, there's always an exception to every rule, and obviously if you're a hurdler, you're not going to have your head down because the hurdle comes up too quickly. But that's because in the drive phase, you're keeping reasonably low. So go back into position. Now, so he's got his position, he's totally relaxed, arms apart, he's slightly wider than the average person. They say have it shoulder width or slightly further. He's a little bit further than the average, but that's what he likes. Set, here's his shoulders, hips, a little bit higher. Okay? And we'll call it. On your marks, set, go. Front foot. See, Jake's front foot's about here. He pushes it up pretty hard. My front foot is just right there, underneath me, so I'm giving him a bit of way, but it's a better position for me.
Is that just because Jake's much stronger?
Yeah, look, Yeah, he is.
With flexibility.
He is. Yeah, and
No,
he
well,
brings
no,
it-
I just want to know because.
And he brings his hips through. Yeah, he's more powerful. And
Yeah, so the more powerful you
if I
are.
do that and I go like that, I'm behind my centre of gravity.
How much
But-
do we pay you to train us?
But he pushes out hard, so yeah, he is stronger, and his hips come through faster. I don't know if you've seen Shervington train down there. He comes over on there because he just brings his hips straight through. Okay, well let's.
Can I just ask, what's the percentage of, say, push off the front, beat the back?
Pretty even.
So it is
Pretty
even, because
even.
I've always struggled with that.
Yeah, pretty even. Like they talk about, years ago you had coaches used to tell you, get over the top, put a lot of pressure on your hands. But the lift, I mean, there's
Oh,
no-
I
there's-
mean the front leg and back leg. So
Yeah.
it's even pressure
You
off.
said that even.
yeah, well, you're not really thinking, it's pretty even,
Oh.
and your body position, so you're distributing the weight even. You're not going over the top, you're not going too far back. But there's no absolute right or wrong. There's variations. I mean, Ben Johnson used to have blocks up high, close together. Very powerful man.
So, how long has it taken you to get Jake to this stage of starting?
He just gradually improved and improved.
And how much longer do you think it'll be before you've? I know you never get it perfect, but how much more percentage do you think he's got to improve it?
Well, he's coming back from injury, so at the moment he's going to improve it. But his last race on the beach, he won the world title, and he just nailed the blocks. He had two of his main rivals either side of him, and the race was over because he put too much pressure on. The race he got injured on the track, he was 1.5 meters, 2 metres ahead of a 10.50 runner. So he's pretty good, but he'll get stronger like anyone. But Jake works hard. And there's three things. You've got to get all your positions right, and you've got to do all that. You've got to have your mental thing right for racing and that, and then you've got to practice. Peter knows, I used to train with Peter when I came back and ran the vets. And I just practice starts all the time because I like it.
Can I just take you back?
Yes.
Jake, can you get in the start position for this one? So remember Martyn said two for its basic starters, for getting where he's now adapted it to. So when you've got used to it, you adapt slight change, but it's 2 and 1 more, or 2 and 3. So the hands, his hands are slightly wider than you guys will.
Yeah, you are, Gabe,
so
you are.
Just slightly wider than the shoulder. Yeah, you guys didn't do that. That's the starting point. So and this arms are straight. So Martyn's head is up on the fingers. So he's in a high position, his head's down and relaxed. He's not looking up where he's going, you don't need to do that. So set. Okay, so higher than his shoulders, his butt slightly. And look at the angle of these legs, right? Now look, it was very important that that angle is straight. They're parallel. Like,
Go back to his head.
Just hold it there, mate.
straight.
90 degrees, 130 degrees is the theory.
91.
You can give and take a bit, but don't go too low because you won't push it, and don't go too high because you've got no power. So that's a rough guide.
They're like really fast as well.
Toes, the theory says,
That looks good.
well,
So
the theory says the front foot slightly further on the track, and the
He
back
beat me by
toe
50
just
minutes
touching
session.
the back, like everyone's itself. Some of the guys get up there.
I
and
beat him
work
first.
okay, so you forget what you see on the Diamond League, the World Champs. The toe's going to be slightly over on the ground here, just marginally, so you can dorsiflex your foot. And he's got it, in this case, on the touching on the ground. And he's got, Martyn puts it up 1, he said, but you guys are putting it all on the bottom, lowest level, okay?
I used to put it up 1 for the 100 and flat for the 200. It was 200 is
For all of you, until we change it and adapt, it's bottom level, 2 and 3, and that angle you saw, his legs were parallel here, they weren't at all different angles. Martyn says 90 and 130, the range is between 130 and 145, but 130 is fine, in that league, 90 is good. And he's not leaning forward. If you lean forward, your arms are starting to shake and they hold you along and fall over. So can you just one more for them, Jake, before you go? Get your head to start. Of course, that start for everyone here is concerned with us. Yeah, it's like they know what we're talking for you. For us, it's green. You just get them to see it again and memorize it.
Yeah, putting one up now. So it might be one start. most time I was very fascinated by ideas. And I reckon that facilitates a real bit of bacteria. When I actually wrote that paper, I was running depths and I was training the full garden, we were the best two masters in our age group. And I found that I wasn't clearing him off the blocks, but I was setting myself and I'd be pulling away from over the first 10. The other thing you see Jake does, he keeps his head down. You don't have to do it, but I like it. Because you stay in your drive phase for a whole lot of reasons. You're not thinking about anyone else. You're working on your acceleration. And you might go, his drive phase is about 25 metres, so he's coming up after that. So you're not getting distracted, you're working your drive properly. And guess what, when you come up, the race is only 70 metres long. It's much better. So we'll do another one.
You'll notice if you just go forward a bit, so you're watching that path. So you'll get 45 degrees drop through here, isn't it? Still.
Jake's got a little app on his iPhone that shows all the angles, so we do it and slow it down, and he draws a little line.
Very important that you see him coming out of your wheel with this angle and not standing up there, which nearly everyone here does.
Okay, behind your block. On your mark. Set.
Didn't hold him long, man.
Jesus. So did everyone notice that his legs were really low? Just right through here. They weren't up like that, so everyone is here. He's driving forward with every step. He's driving like this with every step. Okay? He's not stepping out. He's driving with every step. He's driving forward. Power comes from driving off. It's distinct from reaching forward. It's very important. Do you want to do them three at a time?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do 3 at a time. Dave, you want to